Alright everybody, this is Eric coming from Kansas again. So got another project here for our solar system. We're making some more battery cables because we have acquired some more batteries. So we got a couple of server rack type batteries this time, which you'll see in a little bit, but or see in another video. But we're thought I'd make a little video on the cable making process. So some of you may have done this, some of you may have not. This is a welding wire that I got from a local battery store. It's got lots and lots of little tiny strands in it. My camera will focus. There we go. You see that there. Makes it very flexible and easy to work with. This is definitely the kind you want to get for if you can afford it, if you can find it for solar or low voltage, high amperage type applications, just like in welding applications a lot of times. So, and so I want to go through making one of these connections here, and then we're going to connect them with our batteries later. So in another video maybe. So what I'm going to do here is I got a utility knife. Pretty basic, and don't need a screwdriver. Well, actually, we use a screwdriver because this thing is you have to open it up with a screw. So here's our lug. I also bought these lugs from the battery store. It's a very nice local battery store I like to support. So buying things online, they have lots of stuff like this that is very handy to just go pick up instead of having to wait and buy online. Anyway, this is a 2 gauge 2 AWG welding wire. I don't know if that's, yeah, let's see, yeah, it's hard to see. There we go. AWG2 on the wire there, 600 volt, 105C rating for the insulation. Made in the USA. That's even better. Fantastic. Okay. So, and then this is a lug. It's made for 2 gauge welding wire. So that this is not 2-aught gauge. This is 2 gauge. 2-aught is 2/0 AWG. This is just 2 AWG. Anyway, this lug is made for this size wire here, and it's a 5/16 hole. So when you buy these lugs, you have to specify the wire size and also the lug, the bolt size you want. And 5/16 was what I wanted based on the equipment I have. So you can see there, it's 2x 5/16. So 2 is for the wire size, and 5/16 is for the bolt size for this hole here. So I got a few of those over here in this bag. I've already put one on. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut the end of this wire off so that this lug will fit on the end here. And then we're going to crimp it using this tool that I acquired a few years back for crimping other wire that I use, especially the big 4-aught gauge wire that I have on our inverter charger, which is much bigger than this wire. So there's all the different dies are in there for each different wire size. There's a heat gun also. So we're going to use this crimping tool to crimp these lugs on there. And the reason you want to crimp them on instead of soldering them on, which I originally tried to do many years ago with these lugs, is the bad thing if you solder these on and you have a high power application or you have a short circuit, these lugs can get hot enough where they'll melt the solder. If they're soldered on here, they'll melt the solder, and they can either just fall off, or they themselves will create a spark or a short circuit or something like that, and cause a fire and just have a huge mess on your hands. So you always want to crimp these instead of soldering them. Okay, so I'm going to cut this insulation off right here with this utility knife, and we'll be back. Okay, actually, I'm going to have a helper hold the camera while I do do this. Hold it down close. If it gets blurry, you gotta touch the screen to get it to focus. Alright, I've already got it marked where I want to cut it at, so I had to put this lug on here, and I made a mark where the end of the lug is. Is it still clear?
Yep.
Okay. So we're just going to take our utility knife and just kind of gently go around it without getting our fingers in the way. And this insulation, yep, there we go. It's cutting. Get through it eventually. You might cut a few strands of wire in there, maybe with your utility knife, but there's so many in there, it's not a really a big deal. So, almost there we go. Oh, got a little straggler here. Okay, so now I got it cut. Now we're just gonna slide it off. Nope, got one wire that cut there. Okay, that's not bad. All right, so now we want to keep it like that. Now our lug, just kind of slide it on there. Make sure you don't miss any wires. It just kind of slides right on. There you go. All right, so now the other thing I forgot to mention is we bought some shrink wrap. And that's what is over this connection here. So we're going to crimp this first, and then we're going to cut off some shrink wrap here and shrink it on with a heat gun. But I have some scissors in here, but I'm going to cut this with utility knife. So I'm going to cut about right here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to have to get some scissors for that. I'll do that in a minute. Okay, so here's our crimping tool. And I've already got our die in there. If you can, yeah, you can see the 2 AWG on there. Each of these dies has the wire gauge listed on it, so you know which one to use. So now we're going to take this wire and crimp it like this. I'm kind of deciding on it. I want to crimp it so that the wire will easily turn this way. Sometimes these wires are a little bit bent toward bending a certain way, but anyway, you can bend them pretty easy whichever way you want. But anyway, we'll get it in the die here, and I always when I crimp these connections, I always want the brake and the die here to be lined up parallel with this lug flat part where the bolt goes, so that if you have any burrs, they're on the side here versus on top and bottom. Hopefully that makes sense. You might see it here in a minute. So we're going to put this in the die here, or the die for crimping it. It's hard to do this without a helper because the helper is holding the camera, but we'll get it here. Yep, got to close the valve. Go. Close the valve on the hydraulic press. I got it all in here. Here. Why don't you get up, come around the other side. All right.
Now I can't see.
Yes, you can. All right. Make sure none of the wires inside the hydraulic press or the die. It's just the lug. All right, now I got a little pressure on it. The lug is secure in the die for this crimping, but I'm going to hold the wire in so the wire doesn't come out. Is it focused, Harvey?
Yep.
Okay. Now I'm crimping it. And no, got it. Okay. There. The wire is secure. We got a weird sound there from our press. All right. Now, hold the camera. Now we are nice and crimped with no burrs. Stop focusing. All right, you can see a little bit of the wire there, but it's all crimped in. So now, I'm gonna go get some scissors and we're gonna put the shrink rack on. Now we're gonna cut the shrink wrap. All right. And put the shrink wrap on, covers the wire and the lug. And now we're going to run our heat gun. Okay, so we've got our heat gun going. You see our shrink wrap is nice and loose. So now we're going to watch it shrink. There it goes. All nice and tidy. All right, turn it off. Turn it off. All right, there we go. Okay. And that is the process we use to crimp a wire for our batteries. Hopefully that some of you learned something from that or got some out of that, I hope. And now we're going to do these other ends here for connecting our batteries to our bus bars downstairs. And we'll show you the finished parts of the battery, the cables here, and then in another video we'll show you with the batteries all hooked up. So stay tuned.